Open, we're going to motion to
Open.
recess till 6 tomorrow night, and then we go.
Yes.
Nobody's talking tonight. Okay. Okay, it is Tuesday, April 28th, 2026, 6 p.m. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Dina, do we have a quorum?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I would like to have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
No.
Do we have a motion?
We need a motion to recess.
To recess.
Oh, so recess till tomorrow night, sorry.
I make a motion that we recess this meeting until 6 p.m. tomorrow night due to weather.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Okay, we're recessing the meeting till tomorrow night at 6 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank y'all very much.
We have to adjourn the meeting, though. We have to close the meeting. Is that
No,
all we do?
that,
We're
I
good
think
with
that
it.
closes it.
We
I think that
recess.
closes
We're
it.
recessed, okay.
That way it's still the same
It's still an open meeting at this point. I wasn't either.
Yes, well, I'm here because of a tornado. It took a natural disaster. So
Did you guys do okay through the storm?
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order for Tuesday, well, no, Wednesday, sorry. We are Wednesday now, April 29th, 6 p.m. We were here, y'all were not. Thank you very much. Okay, so the time is 6 p.m. Dina, do we have a quorum?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we do. So I'm excited. I want to call Pastor Clark Bozier from Willow Park Baptist Church to come do our invocation. A prayer. Thank you.
Let's pray. Father, we are so grateful for your goodness to our lives. God, how we thank you for your Son, the living Lord Jesus Christ, who died, buried, and rose again so that we could have life, life eternal, life abundant. God, I am so grateful, God, for your mercies upon us. So grateful, God, to live in the United States of America, and how I ask that, God, you put your favor, you put your blessings, you put your protection on us. God, how I ask today that, God, your hand might be upon these who are a part of this council, that, God, you'd give them wisdom. You said if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God. And God, you said if we call unto you, you'd answer us, and God, you'd show us great and mighty things. And I pray that, God, you would speak to them. I pray that, God, you would always remind us that we're here, but for a little while, may our lives matter. May they count. And God, I know there's so many things going on in our area with the storms. I ask that, God, you'd be at those who've been affected by that. Grateful for the men and women who serve in our police and our fire and rescue and all those that are 9/11. And God, I just thank you for what they do and for their due diligence. And I pray that, God, as they do their job, that they'd have your protection as they do it. God, how I ask for the city of Willow Park, that, God, you might put your hand upon us. That, God, you might give us favor. That, God, you might move in such a way that there be no doubting or wondering that, God, it's you. God, how I do thank you for these who are on this council. I thank you for our mayor. I pray that, God, you just touch them. I pray they know what it is to be led by you. You said the steps of a good man, a good woman, that, God, they're ordered by you. May you order their steps. May you order their thoughts. God, how I pray that one day when we come to the end of our journey, that, God, we can look back, say we've done our best, and, God, may we hear from you, well done, thou good and faithful servant. And, God, if you'll do that, I promise you, in advance, we're going to thank you and praise you for it, because it's in Jesus' name that we do pray. And everybody said,
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Pledge allegiance.
attention, salute, pledge. I honor the Texas flag. Okay.
I know, don't look.
All right, the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag. Attention, salute, pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Get to church right now.
It's Wednesday.
Thank you, Clark. Okay. I get to do a Bible verse. Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Hebrews 12:14. And what I've started doing is recognizing some businesses here in our city. Since we had lost some, I want to make every effort that we can to recognize the businesses, the new one, old one, and then we have another one tonight. So first, I want to recognize Witt's Custard. If you haven't seen Witt's or had any custard, like I have, I've already been there twice. Located on 119 South Ranch House Road, Suite 800. That's where they are, right down the road. So I wanted to recognize them tonight. Also wanted to recognize an older one that's been around here, 2 different locations, but Los Vaqueros. We love Los Vaqueros. So I wanted to mention Los Vaqueros, that's located on I-20 at, bless you, at Stagecoach Trail. Wanted to mention them also. And I wanted to mention our 760 magazine and our festival. I asked Christy and Clint to come and be recognized because we absolutely love the festival, and it was a lovely time. Our district that we have from Kyle Wilkes, that be able to bring a lot of families and neighbors all together, but wanted to get Christy and Clint to say hello to us too from the festival. So if y'all want to come up and say hello, your kids might do that for you. Oh,
Made a little surprise here.
very nice.
A framed photo of the band Burning Slow with the City Willow Park logo on the big screen behind it. And we have our logo and a thank you there at the bottom.
That's awesome.
I'll come take that from
City
you.
Willow Park, for your love and support of 760 Fest, Diamond Title Sponsor 2026 760 Fest.
Love it.
But you have to put that in the nice. The cheese. I'll let y'all talk a minute. Tell us how many people, do you know how many people came? Information?
We don't yet.
Yeah?
So, even though for about 15 minutes, every time we made eye contact with Kevin, we were running away from him because we didn't want to shut it down. We were so thankful that he was there and that Quincy was there and that everybody was keeping us safe. But because of the storm kind of making the exit a little more abrupt, everything is scattered. So instead of movers and 20 volunteers, it was half of my working abilities and a couple other people that were wrapping it up. So, but it looked like a phenomenal turnout. I know at the end of the night, it was a lot of excuse me as people were getting where they were going. This is, we started it last year. It was our inaugural 760 Fest, and we were very grateful to have the City of Willow Park as our title sponsor then, and the same thing this year. And can't thank y'all enough for your support and believing in us and what we're doing. It is not without its trials and tribulations. Last year, Christy would have been here in her knee brace, and this year you get me in a arm brace. I'll be having hopefully not too bad, or hopefully not at all, but maybe surgery here pretty soon. But that is the effort that we put into it, and it's not for any other reason than to see the things that we get to see when we're there, and quite frankly, it's just people enjoying themselves. There's enough negativity, there's enough bad in the world, and I think there's not enough time for we all enjoy this music and we all enjoy this art, and we all
Really?
whatever alert this is, please not that.
Not that.
Yes, Amber Alert.
Keep going.
Oh my goodness.
It's not a storm. Okay, we'll take that.
But it is a beautiful thing to see because nobody is arguing or posting comments on social media when they're got a drink in their hand and they're watching music and enjoying themselves and having cotton candy and playing carnival games with their kids, and that's what we do it for. And now we have to remind ourselves that we have kids also, because those last few weeks get really intense. But it is a beautiful thing, and we can't thank y'all enough for supporting us and sharing that. We couldn't be more thankful, like I said, for the police officers and firefighters and all the volunteers. We had so many people helping us. A couple people really putting it all on the line. Our sponsors, it's beautiful to see so many that just like, yeah, I'm in, let's do it. Those are the businesses that care about exactly what we care about. And it's beautiful, and we couldn't be more thankful. So thank y'all very much.
Thank you too. Y'all worked so hard. I mean, constantly the day before, way before that. So thank y'all very much. It was lovely. Looking forward to next year.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much. I wanted to also mention that I talked to Kyle Wilkes yesterday and would also like to announce, so everyone knows that Drake's Yoke is not there anymore, but there is Blue Barrel Bar and Grill is coming in and taking Drake's Yoke spot. And we also have, that one will be pretty quick. I don't think they'll have a lot of things going on before that happens. And then we have 2 other restaurants. They will come in a little bit later there in the district. Probably he's guessing September, October, but I had talked to him and asked him, what can I share? So that's all I could share. So wanted to mention that before we move on. So next I want to do public comments, and the speakers shall address the city council. This is part of our decorum. Speak to the council with civility, that is inclusive, bless you again.
Thank you.
To appropriate public discussion, speakers may only address the city council and not individual officials, commission members, committee members, or employees. The public cannot speak from the gallery, but only from the podium or designated speaker location. I wanted to mention also that you all would be shocked. I was shocked on how many people are watching our live feed, and they listen to it later. But there is a whole lot of people when I'm not just in this city, but I'm in Fort Worth, I'm in Weatherford. People come up to me and say, we're watching. So heads up, let's all be nice. We're watching. Everyone is watching. And I love when people come up to me and say, we are praying for you. I really appreciate that. Any prayers for our city is lovely also. So wanted to mention that. Before we move on, our first speaker is going to be Brian Roberts.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Brian Roberts. I am not a citizen of the city of Willow Park. However, I do work for the police department, and so I'm here in front of you to discuss a topic that's been going on for quite some time. A while back, some people in the police department, some officers made complaints against the leadership of this department. And therefore, because of the complaints, with Hamilton and the interim city managers, got together and stuff and started an investigation. Although it is my opinion that being a criminal investigator, that this investigation took a little too long. But however, I understand that because of one individual dragging it out and stuff is the reason why the time took so long to get this started. But I'm here to tell you that you, and tell the citizens of Willow Park that I have strong confidence in the ability of the mayor, the city council, that y'all will come to a conclusion to this for the betterment of the police department. And I sure hope that y'all will continue to work together for other things in the city, so that way y'all will come together and do the right decision for the betterment of this city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate the presence of the police officers. I love our police officers, so thank y'all for being here. Okay, so next, Houston Wingard, you're up.
My name is Houston Wingard. I live at 709 Kingsgate. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and citizens. At the February 10th City Council meeting, the Home Rule Charter Commission presented the charter to the City Council in time to put on the May 2nd elections, so the citizens of Willow Park could vote on it. Extensive questions posed by the council members to the commission chairman implied that some of the current council were not in favor of the content of the proposed charter. Instead of following state law and allowing Willow Park citizens to decide whether they wanted the charter, council members raised two procedural questions as an excuse to table and delay action past the deadline to place the charter on the May 2nd ballot. The first procedural question asked whether or not the mayor had the authority to appoint the commission, had been answered by the city attorney multiple times, and was not a valid issue. Then the question was raised whether the commission had somehow violated Texas Open Meeting Act by correcting some punctuation via email. The city attorney indicated there was little chance that issue would prevent the proposed charter from being put on the ballot. It was also noted that the commission activity had been attended by the city attorney representative throughout the working meetings and communications. Regardless, the city council tabled action for the charter, thereby denying citizens the ability to vote on the proposed charter in the current May 2nd election. On March 24th, there was an agenda item for discussion only by the city attorney. He said the council had until August 17th to call an election to put the home rule charter on the November 3rd election. And he had been asked to give an opinion about those questions from this February 10th meeting, and that the questions were under his purview with a time frame of 2 to 4 weeks. These questions were brought up at the February 10th City Council meeting 11 weeks ago. And as of today, there has been 5 weeks since the March 24th meeting and nothing on tonight's agenda for an opinion that was estimated to take 2 to 4 weeks. Either this issue was grossly underestimated, or is it possible that this had no merit in either of the questions brought up by the city council that delayed action on the proposed home rule charter? Can we get a legal opinion and get the home rule charter back on track for the citizens of Willow Park to make the choice? Thank you, Mayor, Council, and citizens.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have Gene Martin.
Mayor, council members, when Houston started up, I thought he had gotten a hold of my notes, but anyway, I'm Gene Martin. I'm still at 700 Kingsgate Road. On February 10th as the commission chairman and on behalf of the Home Rule Charter Commission, I presented the candidate for the initial Home Rule Charter to the Villa Park City Council. Council members took that opportunity to take 40 minutes to ask questions in a manner indicating disapproval of some content of the charter. I've been considering whether that was just inappropriate or whether it was really illegal behavior. Upon being presented with the proposed charter, the council's role was to place that document on an election ballot for ratification or refusal by Willow Park voters. It was not appropriate to commence a debate on the content of the proposed charter. Moreover, that grilling could be construed as using city resources and the bully pulpit of the council bench to bias opinion on an election ballot issue. I do not believe that such campaigning is legal. The most recent P&Z agenda contained items for 1, a public hearing, and 2, action that incorrectly identified the development project for which a zoning change was being requested. Even after this failure was identified, the P&Z proceeded to take action on a recommendation for council approval. The question becomes whether the required recommendation from the P&Z can be valid based on incorrect agenda identification. Can a scrivener's error notation for the information packet overcome the misleading reality of the agenda content? Does the council plan to proceed to take action on a subject that may later fail to have met legal requirements? On April 14th, the City Council approved a preliminary plat for the Beal Dean development. That device was determined by the city attorney to be secret. My understanding is that the only people authorized to know what is in that document are some city staff, P&Z commissioners, and city council members. Why? What use could possibly be identified in an approved preliminary plat that would require it to be kept from the general public knowledge of Willow Park citizens? A way to resolve any question or avoid suspicions would be to simply post the approved preliminary plat on the city website tomorrow morning. I believe these 3 subjects each raise different aspects and questions concerning compliance with the Texas Open Meeting Act requirements or other legal restrictions. Last month, I noted a disparity between actual cost to reconstruct city streets like Kingsgate, where I live, and the estimate to reconstruct Squaw Creek Drive that was used as the basis for the recent $10 million bond proposal. So I got to thinking, consider that instead of using general fund money, we fixed our roads with an assessment to the adjacent property owners. Now, I am not, I stress, not suggesting this. I am bringing this up as a comparative concept. The recent work done on Kingsgate would have cost me and my neighbors about $5,632 each. Under the city proposal for Squaw Creek Drive, a 200-foot frontage, which is what I have, would cost $75,472 on each side of the street. And that doesn't include relocating the water main. Consider the comparison. $5,600 for work done last year, really good work, versus $75,000 for a proposal through an overpriced bond proposal. For those who are paying attention, thank you.
Thank you. So the consent agenda item, these items consist of non-controversial or housekeeping items required by law. Items may be considered individually by any council member making such a request prior to the motion and a vote on the consent agenda items. Approval of regular council meetings minutes, April 14, 2026. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from April 14th, 2026.
A second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, there we go. All right. Number 3, public hearing to consider approval of a request for change in rezoning from Class 2 residential R1 single-family district to Class 1 special purpose PDCL planned development district for the residential development currently known as Clarion, being appropriate 81.706 acre tract of land situated in abstract number 468 West Franklin Survey and in the abstract number 910 A. McCarver Survey, Parker County, Texas, as further identified as being a portion of the Parker County Appraisal District as property ID 106134, 47776, and 62893. This property is located on Crown Road right across from the golf course. We'll now open the public hearing at this time.
Mayor
It is
Palmer, we're gonna
6:25.
Have the staff read first. We were changing our.
Oh, you want to read
Remember?
this first? Okay, go ahead.
That was your cheat sheet.
Yes. Mayor and council, the recently annexed residential subdivision known as Clarion has requested a zoning change from the R1 to a PDCL. This request is to allow a coordinated residential subdivision layout with integrated open spaces, park dedication, and modified development standards tailored to the site's conditions. The developer has provided a comparison sheet, a side-by-side sheet that you found in your packet for the base R5 zoning to the proposed PD modified lot standards. The developer is here with a presentation. Planning and Zoning Commission passed this item unanimously 4-0. Staff have reviewed this request and recommend its approval, and I have Brian Holland from Scorberg here.
Good evening, Mayor Palmer, council members, staff, residents. My name is Brian Holland with Scorberg Development Company. I'm here representing my company as well as Brothers in Christ, Bryson Adams and Grant Reed. We're going to be partnering up with them, local folks here, to do this project. I also have Ibrahim with Westwood Consultants, our engineers, if there's any questions from a consulting standpoint. So I'm going to make this pretty quick because you guys are probably tired of seeing me by now since we've been in front of you multiple times and not much has changed, but there may be some folks in the crowd, and this will be a refresher for the folks here on the council. So we're calling the project Clarion. Tonight I want to just talk a little bit about who we are, not much, because again, I've been through this before. We'll talk about the location of the property, the comp plan, how it conforms to the comp plan, go through the site plan, the density and design, a little bit about the community infrastructure and mobility for this project, show you some of the representative new home product, and then talk about some of the enhancements that the PD will give you over just a straight zoning, and then I'll wrap it all up. So Scorberg Company, we're a single-family lot development company. That's all we do is single-family subdivisions. We've done over 140 projects across the Dallas-Fort Worth area over the last 30 to 40 years. Worked in about 33 different municipalities across DFW. We've got active projects, about 28 active projects, and we put about 7,000 lots on the ground from builders such as the big builders like D.R. Horton, the largest builder in the country, all the way down to custom subdivisions throughout the metro area. As far as the location of this project, as the mayor said, this is across from the golf course. We're on the south side of the golf course, kind of within the Crown Road location, as Crown kind of curves from the from the west to the south. Crown Road Bridge, we're west of Squaw Creek and Willowwood, and just north of the reserves at Trinity. When you're looking at zoning, we always go to the comprehensive land use plan and take a look at what the city has approved in the past. This property is designated as medium density residential, which calls for a density of 4 to 6 units per acre. It calls for a mixture of different house sizes, lot sizes. I think as you see as we go through this, we hit that pretty spot on. So talking about the lot mix and development standards, and again, we've been through this before, but we have 5 different distinct lot categories. And if you read through your PD, you'll see that they each have their own distinct requirements for them: sizes, setbacks, square footages. I don't go through all of that in this presentation because it's been in your packet and we've talked about it before, but our minimum square foot lot size is 5,000 square foot, which is the reserves of Trinity. So we match that designation and that density south of us. And then as we work our way to the kind of the northeast of this project, you'll see the lighter colored, pink colored, rose colored lots get up to 10,400 square feet, kind of the center block there, and then 19,800 square feet kind of around our western or eastern perimeter. So as we get closer to those larger acreage residents to our east. Our overall density, we've got 82.4 gross acres. There's about 21 acres of open space. So it nets out to about roughly 61 net acres. That's a density of 2.9 units per the gross, and then 3.9 units per the acre on the net. So as we looked previously at the comp plan of a 4 to 6 units medium density residential, we are at the bottom level of that at 3.9. So going back, almost probably a year and a half ago, I think we started this project, 2 years ago. Thank you, Tony, for the reminder. But I got a lot of good people in that period of time. So, but the top one is I just wanted to show you kind of a refresher of where we came from. The top one's the kind of the historical density comparison. We started out with a much denser product on this site, and after meeting with the residents to our east and with the staff and with council multiple times and being in front of workshops with the P&Z, we've settled on I think a much better project and a much less dense project. So we were at 4.5 units per acre. We're now under 4. We've lost about 40 total lots, 43 total lots to be accurate. And then I think you can just see from a residential street layout design, I think it's just a much more cohesive and cleaner and better looking project. So my little tagline: lower density, larger lots, higher quality outcome. Now I want to kind of talk about the meat and potatoes of the project a little bit and some of the benefits that are coming with this project. So, and I think we've talked about this before, but improved accessibility and circulation. We just got an agreement approved with Parker County 2 weeks ago. It should have been in your packet, or if not, you can get a copy of it. But it addresses the intersection or the existing bridge there on Crown Road, and then what we're going to be doing to improve that. So we're widening that existing bridge by 6 feet. We're putting new guardrails on that location. We're going to do traffic control signage throughout the area. We're building a 3-way intersection at Crown Road where we extend into our project and tie into the existing Crown Road. We'll be building a 3-way intersection there with stop signs to really try to help calm traffic at that location and make that S-curve a much more safe location. Some of the other things we're doing, we're tying in and matching the street section at JD Tolls. That's a 60-foot right-of-way that was designed previously by the reserves at Trinity. We're just matching that. So that'll be an arterial or collector that comes on all the way down through towards Kingsgate in that area. And then we've got a limited emergency vehicle access point between ourselves and our larger lot neighbors to the east. That's something we've talked about multiple times before and what we agreed to with the council and P&Z and our neighbors. That limits the ingress and egress from our residents and really from our neighbors into our project as well. But it does allow for emergency services. So we'll put a gate there, we'll put a knock box, electric services, so when the fire and police want to access that location, if there's emergencies, they can get in and out. But it keeps people from going in and out of to our neighborhood. So control that access. Open space and parkland dedication. Again, we are dedicating about 16.4 acres on the west side of this project. It is in the floodplain, very similar to all of Kingsgate Ranch. It runs up and down the Wilkes developments all the way up to this. And so I think what you'll see eventually is when the reserves at Trinity dedicate their piece, that will come into the park system, and then we'll dedicate ours. We're going to be putting about a couple miles of trail system out there, both paved trails and then adjacent to it for the dirt path trails for the mountain bikes. The other thing we've agreed to in our development agreement, if you recall, we're going to be building the restroom facility down at that location of the cul-de-sac. We're still working with staff exactly how all that's going to fit in there, but it'll have public parking, restroom facility, and be a nice little area for people to pull in, you know, grab their bike off their vehicle and head out onto the trails. So. And then I want to talk a little bit about the perimeter screening, because I think this is always important when you're looking at a subdivision. So we did a little color coding here to help you follow along what you're looking at. But interior, really on the exterior, and then within, and I didn't show the interior, but you know, on the back of all the lots, that's where you're going to get your traditional 6-foot board-on-board cedar fence. And then which kind of goes up to on the north and on our east and on the south side. And then also on the south, we're going to put, there's a force main easement that the city owns. It's about a 20-foot wide easement between where you see the red there and the yellow. And we're going to take advantage of that and put a trail down through there. And then we're going to, between the backyard fence for the homes, we're 20 feet to the south, we'll be doing a 4-foot decorative iron fence there. So gives a little bit of privacy. People can walk down that trail, get to our parks, get out over to the shops at Willow Park, and I think it'll be a really neat looking feature. So we've talked to y'all also about where the crash gate is, or the emergency services gate is also providing a pedestrian access gate. There was some conversation during P&Z. I'm not sure where we settled on that. I think that we've agreed to do that if that's something y'all want, where we could leave it open so that the folks to our south and to our east, they could actually get onto that trail system themselves and get down to the park, and then even further from there, get on over to the parks or the shops at Willow Park. So that's, you know, we're totally open to that. I don't think we've, you know, I don't know if we've identified that in the PD or not. I can't remember, but that's something we're willing to do. We're also going to have 6-foot decorative metal fence along the park on the back of all those residents. If you see on the west side there, and then we'll be putting masonry screening wall on the north side where you see that blue. It's a limited amount of masonry screening wall, but I think that was a discussion that came up possibly when I was here last time talking to y'all about the PD, trying to limit as people coming down south on Crown Road, taking that turn, if things get a little crazy there, that they have a masonry fence to hit or wall to hit before they get into the back of those residences. And then I just brought this forward. This was in my appendix before, but it was an item of discussion at the P&Z. So I just wanted to let you see kind of what that potential, this is obviously a representative photo, but it would have two brick pillars and then the iron gate that you see there that would be an electronic emergency services access gate. Now, talking about the PD, since it is a long, kind of detailed document going through all the different lot sizes and standards, I just wanted to kind of hit the high points with this. Enhanced standards above and beyond the base zoning regulations. And we've talked about this before. The state has really limited cities' ability to require different architectural enhancements on developers and builders. And so what that boils down to is then we get together and discuss development agreements and PDs and ways that we can still provide a really high quality community. If we just did base zoning, you know, the builders could go willy-nilly and do whatever they want. So this is a way that we've put in some enhancements into the zoning so that you know that you're going to have a high quality, sustainable, long-lasting community for a long time. So that, you know, we talk about exterior materials, 85% overall masonry on the whole project. Enhanced architectural design. The builders will have to choose from, I think it's 4 or 5 different architectural features that they'll have to put on their houses, such as porches, dormers, varied roof lines, you know, decorative elements that make the home stand out and look great. And then roof pitch design, we talked about that. We varied that a little bit, you know, and I just went back in another project down in Midlothian where one of our builders asked for, you know, usually you try to a higher steep pitched roof, like 8-12, 12-12. Nowadays, a lot of with the more urban and modern looking homes, they come down to like a 412. So I think we've settled on a 612 as our minimum on this project, unless it's a flat roof porch or something of that nature, then they can do some variations there. So. And then we do have what we call anti-monotony regulations throughout the PD. You probably saw that, and it's different for the different lot sizes. So your larger, more custom homes, you want those to have a more strict anti-monotony because you've got higher priced homes. You want to make sure that the one next to your 3-horse houses down is not the same one. That you don't have a little too much drink and you walk into your neighbor's house because it looks just like yours, you know. So. And then as you get more of the production, the interiors, you get closer to the 50-foot lots, the 5,000 square foot lots, you still have anti-monotony, and I think it's probably 3 or 4 houses before you can do a similar architectural style, but they still have to have different colors and different roof styles. So, yeah. And that will be enforced not only through the PD, because it is a PD requirement, but also through the required HOA that we'll put in place. And then garages and driveways, obviously everything's going to have a 2-car garage, which is sometimes questionable today. I mean, some builders are trying to cut corners and they'll do a 1-car garage on product, and just with trying to cut costs, and that's not the way we do things. So, and then talking a little about just kind of the special design guidelines. Again, I mentioned the mandatory homeowners association. That is a requirement. We do that in all of our projects. We've got a professional management company that manages the HOA, and we are the declarant as the developer. We're the declarant until we sell our last lot, and then generally it's turned over to one of the home builders until the home's sold, and then it eventually turns over to a resident board. And 9 out of 10 times on a project this side, that resident board's not going to self-manage. It will probably keep a professional management company in place. Just our experience over the last 40 years, it just becomes too unwieldy for them to try to get a resident. And that's, I think, pretty important for y'all to hear that, because resident governed boards sometimes don't manage it to the level that you would expect, you know. So I think that's a good thing to hear. So integrated amenity and open space, we already talked about that. Enhanced landscaping and streetscape requirements. We'll be, putting hardscape masonry on all of our entry features, enhanced landscaping. These homes are going to be priced from, as I'll show you here in a minute, from the 450s all the way up to over $1 million. And so we really have to do it right and make sure it looks good for these houses to sell. And you're in a competitive environment here, and we've got lots selling to our south and homes selling to our south with the reserve at Trinity, and really kind of across the Aledo ISD area. And so we got to make sure that we're competing. Community identity and entry features, we just talked about that, and mobility and connectivity. So this kind of talks about, this progresses from the smaller 5,000 square foot lots up to the larger lots, gives you some representative photos of the type of homes we're looking at. Those, we call those cottage home sites, the 5,000 square foot. Those will have homes, square footage just from 1,800 to 2,800 square feet. Could reach over 2,800, but likely not at that size, at that lot size. But that, even at that size square footage, which is not a small home, my first home was 760 square feet, I think. So 1,800, you get 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, probably most likely a 2-story home on that lot. But that's going to be priced from about 420 to 520, on the low end to the high end. Then you move into the modern, or the middle size, the 60s and 60-foot lots, 6,000 square foot, 7,200 square foot lots. You're going to start creeping up in your square footages from 2,000 to over 3,000 square foot. You'll start on the top end of, where the other ones topped out at 520. That's where about these homes will start, and they'll go on up into the 750s. And then you get into your larger, your luxury, your signature home sites, and those are the bigger ones that I mentioned that were in the light pink, and you can see some representative photos there. So, you get some monsters there. You can go 2,500 to over 3,500. I would not doubt to see some homes in the 4,500 to over 5,000 square foot range at that location. So, and that's a home in the 620s over $1 million. So, so just to kind of wrap it up, and then I'll answer questions, because you have a couple agenda items, and I'll be sitting here happy to answer any questions that you have. But if just for a reminder, this was a voluntary annexation. We brought I think about 62 acres in the city limits, so the other 20 was already in the city. So we did a voluntary annexation, happy to do it. Improve traffic circulation and safety. I think we've talked about that with Crown Road and the widening of the bridge, dedicating the public park, the 16.4 acres. We're doing the trail system. We're going to be doing the park and the parking lots and the restroom facilities. A diverse housing type, I think, is, we just heard about the event that you just had, the festival. I think this, this type of project and the location of where it is really going to enhance that retail activity. And I think we're touting it as a walkable community to your parks and help it enhance the restaurants and bring those, the folks that the Wilkses are trying to enhance and entice to this location. I think this number of residents is really going to help.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to the pastor, and I said, we're going to put a bunch of people in your seats, too. So he was pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
And then, as I've said a couple different times, no city incentives. I think, and this is not, I'm not being altruistic, because we did come in with our handout at first. We realized that was something that was not going to fly, and so we've pulled all that back. We have no city incentives. There's no PID. There's no TERS. There's no impact fee reimbursements. This project stands on its own. And then projected long-term increase in property taxes. I have a slide later that I won't go to. It's in the appendix, but if you want the details, you can look at it. We're projecting this will kick off between $680,000 and $700,000 annually at full build-out, and that just increases, obviously, as the values go up. So enhanced architectural, landscaping, open space standards, and then, again, the mandatory HOA. So that's my spiel for the evening, and I'm happy to answer any questions, or I'll sit down and be quiet and let other people talk, and then answer questions as necessary. So I would appreciate your support.
It's a public hearing. You can-
Yeah.
Yes, okay. We're going to open the hearing, 6:45. I'm going to open the hearing, and anyone who wishes to ask questions or speak can do that. I see Jean waving, yes.
Well, I just have one question. You may have been aware that there's some R1 adjacent to the property and some consideration that they don't like the higher density. And your map showed that you're going to have masonry wall along a stretch of Crown Road. Have you considered putting the masonry as a better buffer between the PD and the R1 that exists, that is much, got a longer lifespan? I mean, I've been watching development go in here for 30 years with wood fences, and 10, 15 years later, the wood fence isn't very much. Something to consider to appease the neighbors that you'd be building next to.
Would you like me to address that?
Yes.
So I think where he's talking about, I don't know if you can bring the slide back up, but it's basically adjacent between our project and the existing neighborhood to the, I guess that's to the east. So that's generally, as you back lots to lots, you do a 6-foot privacy fence installed by the builder at the time of construction. And that's our intent with this. Right now, I think all along, most of that line is barbed wire fence. And so what we'll do is work with our neighbors and either put that right on the property line. If there's trees there, we'll try to work around the trees the best we can. But we've been doing this a long time, and 9 out of 10 times, we are going adjacent to existing properties. And so you got to be good neighbors, you got to work together. But to do a masonry wall back along that whole area would be, one, cost prohibitive. And then two, it would only be for the benefit of the two neighbors that are facing it. So what we want to do is spend those dollars on the public face of the project, so that people coming down Crown Road, they get to see that nice masonry wall. We'll put the entry features where they are. That'll help enhance that. So.
Bill? You're up.
To the elected mayor, elected council, and appointed council. Good to see you guys all here today. I had a couple questions on this with Perry, and you've answered almost everything that I was going to ask you for, and I appreciate that. And it sounds like you've got a good business way of doing this by doing it yourselves and not trying to get the city and the city council to throw in a bunch to get you to come here. To me, that's the right way to do it. You know, your end of it comes when everybody's happy living in houses, not a handout from the city to try to get you to come in here. And I know you guys appreciate that too. You mentioned about the cameras. I had the pleasure the other day to talking to Nathan's mom. And she was out at where the election was, and she was touting, you know, his good points and all that, and I'm agreeing with her because he's a great guy. All of these are. But she recognized me by the back of my head. So that's the only part of me she's ever seen. But anyhow, I got the answers pretty much there on the Claritin. One thing, you know, 3 and 4 and 5 are all pretty much hooked together. 5 being the discussion and action to consider approval of preliminary plat for Claritin. If the council goes with this and takes the action on 3 and 4 here today, does that mean that the plat will come out sooner? It's already out. Okay, just on the agenda for that too. Okay, that's really the only questions I had on this. I've got some coming up a little bit later too. Thank you all.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything they want to speak out on this one? Okay, we're going to close this public hearing at 6:50. Move on to number 4, discussion action to consider an ordinance to approve a request for change in rezoning from Class 2 residential R1 Single Family District to Class 1 Special Purpose PDCL Planned Development District for the residential development currently known as Clarion, being approximate 81.706 acre tract of land situated in abstract number 468 West Franklin Survey and in the abstract number 910 A McCarver Survey, Parker County, Texas, as further identified as being a portion of the Parker County Appraisal District as property ID 106-134-47776 and 62893. So Chelsea, do you want to talk on this issue? Do not?
It's just
Yes?
the reading that we've already done. She already read the brief.
Okay, so you don't have anything else to add? Move on?
Well, I do want to respond to maybe Mr. Dean Martin's comment regarding the Scrivener's error. We were able to confirm with the attorneys that since the legal description was accurate, we were able to put the Scrivener's error before the P&Z meeting had started, and that was good to go. So I did want to go ahead and clarify that.
Thank you.
Everything else is the same as what I spoke about earlier.
That was also posted on the board
Yes.
as well as on the website.
Yes, yes, board website and in the P&Z packet and in this packet, so. All right,
Thank you. Does the council have any discussion? Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the plan development for Clarion subdivision as presented.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? There you go. Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Okay, we're going to go on to 5. Discussion and action to consider approval of the preliminary plat for Clarion Development. And we've already talked about this. Chelsea, anything else to add? You ready to go? She wants to come again. Okay.
So echoing the Clarion development, since the PDCL is passed, we are presenting the preliminary plat. This accurately reflects their PDCL as presented. Planning and Zoning Commission passed this item with staff comments as conditions unanimously 4-0. Staff have reviewed the request and recommend its approval as presented. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any discussion from the council? Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary plat conditional with staff comments as presented.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? There you go. Okay, motion passes. Okay, 6, public hearing to consider a request for a change in zoning from a Class 2 residential R1 single-family district to a Class 3 Business C commercial district for the Barco Land Company LLC and the owner of all that certain 7.290 acre tract of land being situated in the James Orr Survey, abstract number 1029, Parker County, Texas. This property is located just south of Bankhead Highway at Willow Bend Drive and the AAI ball fields. Anybody want to present anything, or we're just going to move on to public hearing? Oh, she does want to come up. Okay, Chelsea, you got to move fast.
Yes,
I'm ready.
ma'am.
Go ahead.
The applicant requests approval of a rezone recently annexed property, 7.290 acres, from R1 to a straight commercial zoning to allow for the development of a tractor supply retail store and potential future commercial frontage. This use is consistent with the evolving commercial character of East Bankhead Highway. Planning and Zoning Commission passed this item unanimously 4-0. Staff recommends its approval, and the developers are here as well if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we're going to open the public hearing at 6:54. I have Bill on here.
That answered my question on that.
You're good? Okay, anybody else wish to speak? Nobody. Okay, so I'm going to close the hearing, public hearing at this time at 6:55. Thank you. Okay, next, 7, discussion action to consider an ordinance to approve a request for a change in zoning from a Class 2 residential R1 single-family district to a Class 3 Business C commercial district for the Barco Land Company LLC, the owner of all certain 7.290 acre tract of the land being situated in the James R. Orr Survey, abstract number 1029, Parker County, Texas. Chelsea, you want to say something on this one? You sure? Okay. All right, do we have a discussion from the council on this one? No discussion. All right, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve zoning change as presented.
Second.
I'll second.
Buddy's seconding. All in favor? There you are. All right, motion passes. Moving on to 8. Okay, public hearing to consider a request for change in the zoning from Class 2 residential R1 single-family district to a Class 3 business LR local retail district, being a .80 acre tract of land in the Havens subdivision Block 1 of said Havens subdivision of Lot 7 of the C.E. Beavers subdivision of a part of the following surveys: McKinney and Williams Abstract 954, J.M. Moore Abstract 882, and INGNRR Co. Abstract 1998, also known as a 6603 East Bankhead Highway at the corner of FM 5, all in Parker County, Texas, further identified as being a portion of the Parker County Appraisal District as property ID number 9527. There she is.
There I am.
You're up.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this item was presented to you before as a commercial. It was advised to be more restrictive, such as local retail. In the process, the property owner has lost his buyer. 6603 East Bank Highway is currently surrounded by business in the county and legal nonconforming businesses on all sides except for the north and the east. The owner is requesting a local retail change for a proposed optometrist office. This item was presented to P&Z on the 21st and passed unanimously 4-0. City staff have reviewed the request and recommend its approval. And again, the owner is here if you have any questions.
Thank you. Okay, we're now going to open the public hearing. It is 6:58. Is there anybody who wishes to speak on this item?
That answered my question.
Okay, you're good. Anyone else? Yes, you are easy today. Anyone else have anything else they want to say about this one? No. Okay. All right, so I'm going to close the public hearing. It is 6:58. Thank you. Okay, moving on to number 9. Discussion, action, and consider an ordinance approving a request for the change in zoning from Class 2 Residential R1 Single Family District to a Class 3 Business LR Local Retail District, being a .80 acre tract of the land in the Haven subdivision, Block 1 of the said Haven subdivision of Lot 7 of the CE Beavers subdivision of a part of the following surveys: McKinney and Williams Abstract 954, J.M. Moore Abstract 882, and I&G NRR CO Abstract 1998, also known as 6603 East Bank Highway, all in Parker County, Texas, further identified as being a portion of the Parker County Appraisal District as property ID number 9527. Chelsea, I'm staring at you. You got nothing?
No, unless you have questions for the owner, that's easier.
Okay, so discussion from the council on this one? No? Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the zoning change as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? There you go. All right, passes. Moving on. Number 10, public hearing to consider approval of a specific use permit, SUP, to allow for existing pole sign to be updated to an electronic informative digital message sign for Trinity Christian Academy, an approximately 4.392 acre tract legally described as Lot 2, Block 1 of the Trinity Church Properties Subdivision, the Parker County Appraisal District, as property ID number 96818.
Yes.
There she is. Go ahead.
Staff received an application for a specific use permit for a digital informative sign on an existing pole sign at Trinity Christian Academy. The height is not to be changing and the sign should not change too frequently. The city staff have reviewed this request and recommend the SUP's approval with the conditions that the sign change once a day at off hours. Planning and Zoning Commission approved as presented with unanimous vote of 4-0.
Thank you. Okay, I'm now going to open the public hearing. It is 7:01. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on this item? No one. That was fast. Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. It is 7:01. There you go. Okay, number 11, discussion, action, and consider approval of the specific use permit SUP to allow for existing pole sign to be updated to an electronic informative digital message sign for the Trinity Christian Academy, an approximate 4.392-acre tract legally described as Lot 2, Block 1 of the Trinity Christian Properties Subdivision in the Parker County Appraisal District as ID number 96818. Chelsea says no. Okay, discussion with the council, anybody? Okay, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the specific use permit for Trinity Christian Academy digital sign as presented, the SUP to remain on file in the city manager's office for 10 years.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, moving on to 12. Discussion action to consider approval of the city limits extraterritorial jurisdiction, ETJ map and ordinance. Chelsea, I'm staring at you. Here she comes.
Yes, Mayor and Council, with our recent annexations, this is a requirement of the city, also an ordinance to adopt the city limits and ETJ map as presented.
Okay, any discussion by the council? No, moving on. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the City of Willow Park city limits and ETJ maps as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? There you go. Okay, passes. Number 13, discussion and action, traffic control speeding enforcement issue on Kingsgate. Here comes Commander Quincy Hamilton. You're up.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. If you look before you, I've submitted a report with the packet. It will be 2 traffic surveys inside. So we received a speed complaint on Kingsgate Road. What I did was I set up the speed trailer. Well, I directed our staff to set up the speed trailer. We set it up there for a week facing one direction. We moved it to a different area on Kingsgate, set it up again, and set it up for another week so we could get some results. Viewing the results, there is speeding on Kingsgate between, based on what we're looking at, it was about, I'd say, 10 to 15 miles over what the speed limit is posted at 30. So you do have some speeders. That first week, if you look at your report, the fastest car I want to say was in the 50s.
Cool.
I believe about 51. That was the first week. The second week, I'm pretty sure some kid channeled his inner Ricky Bobby and tried to get it up to 81. But it was just one car.
That's it? That's all you got?
That was the one. Well, that was the one car that was really excessive.
Okay.
So some kid in the neighborhood, I'm sure, decided to see how fast he could get his car to go. If you look at the numbers, it's well over 50% of the cars are going over the speed limit. So there is speeding. Based off the report I got, I directed our staff to begin speed patrols up there. So whenever possible, again, we're short-staffed, but whenever possible, we go up, we run traffic. If we catch a speeding on Kingsgate, you will receive a citation. As far as the speed bumps and all that go, that is completely up to you guys. There is speeding up.
Thank you.
You have any questions about that?
Do we have any discussion from the council? Any questions?
Quincy, have we seen a difference? I know we have them on Crown. Have we seen a difference as far as the speed humps being up there, slowing down traffic? I know I hear like from speed hump to speed hump, it's like a race to get to the next one or whatever. Have we seen any value to adding those on that side of town versus? You live on Crown, man? Yeah.
I will tell you this, those speed bumps added on Crown, it don't just affect the speeders, it affects us as well. So it affects emergency services.
Agreed.
I want to say right after we put those speed bumps up there, we had a fight we were responding to code, and I think my head almost went through the roof several times. I had several knots.
Yeah.
So that many may have been a little excessive, but it is a need for the speed bump.
Do we have alternative options other than speed humps?
That is a good question. Not to my knowledge. Like I said, we're short-staffed, which even when we're full-staffed, there will be 3 officers on the shift.
Yeah.
You have 3 officers on the shift, that's a large area to cover. We're not going to be able to sit up there all day and run.
I agree.
So, and when you put the speed sign out, again, you get some kid who wants to see how fast he can go.
Agreed.
So, honestly, I don't see many. A speed bump or something to slow them down would be nice.
Yeah. I've seen, and the only reason why I ask is because I've seen where some cities have gone to like narrowing lines and things like that. It's more of a visual effect than that is where they bring in the actual weight line of the street versus doing that and making the road look smaller. Where some cities have gone to that. I don't know the effectiveness of that. I just know that's been an alternative to speed bumps because, again, I don't want to slow you guys down either or fire or get into any of the locations that you have. So it affects us just as much as it does the speeders. So.
Right. So, yeah, I don't have any knowledge of the narrowing of the lanes. I don't have any information on that.
Okay.
So what is your suggestion on that particular road?
As far as what? Do we need speed bumps or not?
Right.
I don't really have a suggestion. I will, like I said, as far as law enforcement goes, they are speeding on the road. Those are the facts we have. Some of them are, like I said, at least 15 over is where you're going to find your average, 5 to 15.
So being able to patrol that area as best we can with the limited officers that we have, is that better option, in your opinion, over the humps in that, on that street? Because the humps do affect y'all negatively when you're in pursuit?
Mayor Palmer, we have discussed about actually just the timeframes as to when that speeding is being done, actually rotating officers in that area during that time.
Do y'all have the force to do that?
Just depends on what it's
Yeah,
like. Like,
for
I
duration.
had one officer on the street today, and he didn't have time to do anything. He was called to call today. So it just depends on the day and what the call is.
And some days, it sounds like y'all might, during the day, only have one officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
That kind of scares me a little bit. That
ma'am.
really does.
Why is that? Why can't we have more officers?
Money.
Money?
You have subdivision going in.
Businesses, taxes, there are several things you can do, but you're gonna need to, it's gonna have to be something to pick up the revenue of the city.
Quincy, based on the locations of the trailers, do you have like more prime areas where if we were to limit how many went in, but we could tell from where you had these, the trailers sitting, where the locations we might potentially put in speed humps would be, we'd be better served, you know, instead of, you know, one at the start and one at the beginning? Is it better to have one here at this point where we find the longest portion of straightaway? Do you have any feedback as to where we might optimize, you know, keeping it, if we do go the speed hump route?
Can y'all keep it down back there so I can hear?
Well, we set the trailer up at the 600 block and 800 block.
Right.
So I believe it's the 800 block you come in. So on that straightaway from the 800 block back to where is that road intersection? Where it intersects with the next intersection there, I'd say 3. If you just had them set up, if you just set 3 speed bumps there, at least it would slow people down.
Okay.
I don't say you get excessive with it and put a large number of them, but if you put a couple there, there's something to slow them down. If people aren't gonna go 81 and jump these speed humps.
So maybe 2 speed humps?
2 to 3 would be efficient.
Tony, is this something we could leverage, like a Jacob Martin or somebody who has done this kind of thing before, so we can?
Chase has got some information on
We did
that.
adopt a speed hump policy after the Crown Road incident.
Come up here, Chase. Step up here.
I mean, rather than us guessing.
Just push him out of the way.
Yeah, we did
Not a problem.
adopt a speed hump policy that, I mean, it's very intricate. I haven't really completely read through it, but there is, with the policy, it gives the citizens an opportunity to petition for speed humps. And that we have a actual form that they can come up here and get, and it outlines everything that they need to do. It requires signatures, and it also requires, you know, them to cover 50% of the cost if they do want those. And there's criteria in there that could be met to put speed humps in.
Okay.
I have a question in saying that. Is it, what percentage of that street would have to do that for it to be viable? And would everyone 100% on the street have to pay for that?
I believe it's 80% signatures of the area. I'm not sure on how big it is. Like I said, I have not completely read this word for word because we haven't had to utilize it. So
So
but
if
I
we had to
believe
get
it's
80%, and then would 100% of people have to pay for that, right?
I believe just the ones that signed the petition, but I may be wrong on that.
Okay.
Get with, and I can read through this more thoroughly if you want to discuss this at a future time.
Okay. Do y'all have more discussion on this item?
You know, talking about rumble strips instead of speed bumps. They jar your teeth, but they won't see you through the road.
In my experience with those that deteriorate the road, make it easier for the road to deteriorate. You're, you know, removing surface area.
Gene, you wanted to make a comment?
I do. I've lived on that street for 38 years.
Okay.
When the trailer was parked down approximately 800 Kingsgate, it did slow traffic going south. I watched that. When you had it up around 600, pointed to northbound, didn't really do anything because those people were slowing down for the stop sign at Royal View anyway. Okay? The speed bumps, and I said bumps, on Crown Road are not well designed as speed humps. A speed hump should not jar your teeth if you hit it at 25 to 30 miles an hour, if that's the speed limit on that street. The speed bumps on Crown Road, I would not want on Kingsgate. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Chase, did you have anything you want to add?
Oh, no, it is 80% on the.
It is 80?
Yes.
Okay. So we have no other discussion on this item? Okay. Thank you very much, you two.
Thanks.
Do we have a motion? Anybody have a motion? No motion?
I don't know if I want to jump into speed humps immediately on this. I think we need something there. I think we need alternatives other than speed humps. I mean, Gene made a great point of, maybe doing a little bit more research if we are going to do speed humps. Maybe it's they've got gradual raises of how they do it. Like you said, I've been through some in the older part of Fort Worth where you hit them at 30, which is the speed limit. It doesn't really affect the car. You hit it at 35, and you're going to bounce off the thing. So I really feel like we need alternatives to that. I drive down Crown quite a bit. It's a beating to go down Crown Road with all the speed humps down there too.
So at this time, we're going to make a motion to table this and bring it back up later. Does anybody want to make that motion?
I was going to just request it be an item for future agendas, so we could, if that works instead.
Okay, so we'll bring it up at a future time. Do we have to vote on that or no?
No.
Okay, moving on. 14, discussion action to consider approval of an extension to McKnight lease for I-20 El Chico, 120 El Chico Trail, Suite B. We had Tony or Michelle.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor and council, City of Willow Park's purchase of 120 El Chico Trail for its City Hall also includes the building's existing tenants in Suites B and D. Suite B's tenant, McKnight Title Company, has expressed their interest in extending their lease for the suite. 1-year proposed lease is here, effective as of January 1st of 2027. Increase in rent to $20 per square foot and a reduction in square footage to 4,590 square feet. And the lease also offers an option of a 1-year extension of the market rate. City staff recommend approval as presented.
Okay, do we have discussion? Any discussion? No? Is there a motion?
Make a motion to accept as presented.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? There you go. Okay. 15, discussion action to consider canceling the regular city council meeting for May 26th due to Memorial Day holiday. Sounds great to me. Any discussion up here? Good. Moving on. Is there a motion? Right?
Yeah.
I'm going.
I'll make a motion that we cancel the regular city council meeting for May 26, 2026.
Do you want a second?
Second.
Oh, there
Yes.
you go. All right. All in favor? Discussion action to consider approval of rate change for Republic Waste Systems. Rose is going to do that.
I am going to sub for Michelle tonight because she is not with us, so I'm going to attempt to answer questions as I can. Council, as you know, we are under a contract with Republic Services for our residential trash and recycling collection. We are in a collaborative with 5 other cities in East Parker County for this. They are changing to the robot trucks that pick up the cans with the big mechanical arm, and so they are swapping out our trash cans for the trash cans that are compatible with the new system. As a result of the service change, they have implemented a revised rate structure. Under the current rate, residents pay $19.08 per month, including sales tax. Under the new rate, the monthly charge will be $25.12, including sales tax. I am now prepared to answer any questions.
I have a question. So I've already gotten a complaint. Thank you very much. Before the trash cans, I even saw them. So The complaint I got from citizens are, why would we rent instead of buy? Like, I wouldn't rent a house maybe, and I buy a house? So explain all the difference for us.
Sure. So I will let you guys know that a couple of things. The first thing that I have been asked to pass along by the probably 24 people that I have spoken to since Friday is that everyone is very unhappy with this.
Right?
Nobody wants their bills to go up, especially not a charge that's indefinite on something like this, right? And I've been asked about the renting thing a lot too. Put simply, Republic did not give us a choice. We have been contracted with Republic for a very long time. As a matter of fact, our contract with them is about to renew. And Republic really did not give us any type of option on this. And none of the other 6 cities were given an option either. I did speak to the city of Hudson Oaks because they are the ones who negotiate this contract on behalf of the 6 cities. Hudson Oaks basically told me that's just the way that Republic told us it is. Republic has not been super receptive to our questions, especially some of the FAQs that have come out, and some of the questions we've had from citizens that we've passed along to Republic. We've struggled to get answers on that. So some of the things that you guys probably have questions tonight, I may have answers to. Some of them I may not. And Republic has told us to refer anyone that has questions to them. But my understanding on some of our social media comments is that they're not responding to questions either.
So why are we locked into Republic? I know they already started delivering, so I'm like, this seems really, delivering seems premature versus this council voting and not having options between other facilities other than using Republic or other companies. Explain that to me.
Well, I'll try to explain the history to you as best I can. I was not here when this first started, so I don't have all of the information. Basically, what happened was one of the council members in Annetta North and the city manager of Hudson Oaks at the time, several years ago, I want to say it was close to 10 years ago, negotiated this contract on behalf of all of us. Trash rates are charged by tonnage. So the more tonnage that you have, the better rate you can get in bulk. So the 6 cities made a decision that they were all going to go in basically as a collaborative, and that was going to help them negotiate a lower rate. So at that time, rates were negotiated with Republic. I don't know if they talked to any other companies or not, and I don't have any records on that, unfortunately. What I do know is that we have stayed in that collaborative and we have renegotiated the contract a couple of times. I wasn't at the table for those negotiations. I don't know if anyone in this building was at the table for those negotiations.
But if the contract is coming up, shouldn't that be addressed?
So where we're at right now is, and this is what, again, this information is secondhand. So we would need to verify this before we take any type of action about it. But I am told that there are ways that we could go another direction. My caution would be that it would probably make our rates go significantly up if we decided to negotiate something on our own.
So would I need to call Hudson Oaks Mayor, Tom Fitzpatrick, to find out more definite information on that?
I don't know that he'd be able to give you that. It would probably be the manager of Hudson, a city manager of Hudson Oaks that would be able to give you that information.
Okay.
I don't know how much involvement their mayor has in it.
Okay.
But I know their city manager, he had a lot of really good information for me, so he could be somebody you could consult with on that.
Yeah.
The other piece to tell you guys is because we are already locked into this particular contract, if we do not approve this ordinance update for this rate change tonight, Republic is not going to not charge us the upgrade. The city will have to eat that cost. So if we do not approve this ordinance tonight, at least for this portion of the fiscal year, for the remainder of the 25-26 fiscal year, we will start losing money. So that is information that I was asked to pass along to you guys on that to help you make a better informed decision.
I guess I'm still confused.
Yes, ma'am.
The contract is up, but we're locked.
The new contract has already been signed. I do not know who signed it. I do not know when it was signed.
I was working in the city of Aledo when all of this happened initially. So it was from probably about 2012 is when the collaborative came to be.
Thank you, Dina.
And it was due to the cost involved for each individual city to have their own garbage company to come in and do it, because each city at the time, we were all very small. Aledo was a 2,200 population when I went to work there. So this was collaborated with all of them. I think initially, our mayor and city manager were involved.
Yes, ma'am.
As well as all the other cities from Willow Park, Hudson Oaks, and the Annettas. to help try to get a better cost and better service with Republic. And Republic has been with all of these cities for that many years. Alito also experienced, I think this contract was probably negotiated, I want to say in 2021 or maybe 22, when it
been
was
several years.
renegotiated, and probably expires this upcoming year.
Yes.
I would imagine.
Sterling told me that he thinks it expires next month, but he's not sure. But apparently, the extension and the new contract was written into this negotiation back when it was done.
Yes, and
So
I think
there was
I
not like
remember.
there's not like a new contract that we get to negotiate with this. It's just an extension of
I
our
think
current.
I remember that it was like an automatic renewal kind of situation as well.
That's
with
what
all
I
the
remember
cities.
too from what I know of it.
Till it came due, like they could make changes to each individual city, but the city of Alito did have the owner or the managers of Republic Texas Waste at our meetings to discuss all the changes and all of those sort of things back when that happened.
In 2012?
No, when it was renegotiated.
Which was-
in 21,
I think it was in
22,
21
something
as
like
well,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
In 2021?
2021, it was either 21 or 22, they came to the City of Alito City Council meeting to discuss all of the changes that were going to be made to the contract and negotiated information with us.
So all.
I would assume they did that with every city, but I don't know. I only know what happened in Alito.
I don't remember if they came to one of our council meetings or not. That's been a couple of years ago at this point. But I would imagine we probably followed whatever they were doing with the other
Right.
cities as far
And
as.
it totally was to defer cost for the waste disposal, because where the garbage goes, it costs extremely large amounts of money to get rid of it. And so as it spread across all the communities, then that made it a better deal for everyone at the time. Don't know where we are now, but.
So all the cities are being affected, every citizen in all the cities are
Yes,
being
ma'am.
affected.
I would assume
just
so,
like
yeah.
we are.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So all we can say is we've been doing this, and we're going to keep doing this, and that's what we tell the citizens.
Till you can negotiate a new contract.
Which is when?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What I
either.
was
We'll have
told
to look
is,
that up.
what I was told that we have 10, I was told we had 10 years left to go. I don't know if that's good information or not.
10 years?
I just don't see voting on something that we don't have clear answers on, but that's just maybe me
Well,
stickler for.
The
citizens
problem is
complaining.
even if we don't, we eat it.
We're still going to get a cost.
We still get the cost no matter what.
there a reopener?
Yeah.
Comment? Comment?
Please.
Is there a reopener? Yeah.
Just got delivered a 95-gallon tub, put in the middle of my driveway yesterday morning.
All right.
Do you mind coming up to the podium, sir? Thank you.
Hello, Fairway Drive.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's a reopener in this thing or not to renegotiate, but with that size of a container and their new trucks that they're going to purchase, which we don't need to pay for, I believe that we could probably reduce it down to once a week. And if somebody has that much garbage, I mean, 95 gallons is a huge, huge amount. So I think you could see if there's a reopener in this thing to renegotiate this deal, to go down to maybe once a week trash pickup. That would be one option. If people need a second tub, I think it's $6 or $7. I don't remember. It was pretty
Yeah.
cheap in their little
Something like that.
brochure that they sent out. But to just, I've dealt with Republic before, and there's no control on their cost. They're going to do this to you time and time again unless you've got a contract that specifically states what's going to happen. So I just would hope that this council, this mayor, would see if there's a reopener in this negotiation, since apparently nobody's negotiated it since 2021.
Probably 21 or 22, yes,
That's
sir.
a long time ago. And for them to do this to you, I wouldn't put up with it if I were you. There's got to be some other cities that use this, and there's certainly got to be other trash pickup people that would,
There is,
that would help you out here.
Right.
So anyway, that's my comment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, so the scenario and issue that we've looked at, and I did a little bit of research on this, because, I mean, we're all affected by this. I mean, everybody got hit by this. The problem is that we're in this conjunction with all these other cities to
Right.
keep our rates minimal and down. Granted, it is an increase, it's an increase to everybody. However, if we step out as Willow Park and try to find a third-party vendor to get out from under Republic, we could double our charges.
Just to,
We don't know, right?
well, just to give you some context,
It's based
before
on
I moved
ton.
into
We
the
don't bring
city
in
of Willow
enough
Park,
tonnage.
when I lived in an unincorporated county just outside the city, I got once a week pickup for $60 a month.
Yeah.
So obviously, that was a single-family rate. And if we negotiated as a city, I couldn't tell you what the number is going to be, but it would absolutely be higher than what we're paying
yeah,
now
it
if
will.
if we negotiated
It
on
will.
our own.
I mean, my in-laws lived in unincorporated Tarrant County in Markham Ranch. They were paying $92 a month for one-day pickup.
I'm just thinking that if we need to do research with the city manager as an option, I mean, I'm not a voting party here, but it is an option, maybe put it off a meeting to have those discussions as options. I'm not saying, you know, go ahead and pay the penalty and keep paying it. I just think that if the citizens keep asking questions, we should have more answers. That's it.
Can you,
We're getting less service for more money. And up where Kay and I live, we've got a lot of families up there that have 2, 3, 4 kids. And the idea of them using one trash can once a week is an impossibility, even with the 95 gallons, because they've sometimes got 4 or 5 cans out there. And most time, we've got 2 cans out
We
there.
have 2 as well.
One being the recyclable one, which brings up another question. I still don't understand what we do about recycling. Do you know anything about that, Rose?
I can try to help. Can you be a little more specific with your question?
Well, we have a different can for
Yes, sir.
recycling.
Yeah.
Right.
So how are we going to recycle now? Well, we're only allowed to use that one can, and it all has to be bagged up when it's in.
No, you still have recycling and
We're
service.
still going to use.
Yes, we'll
Absolutely.
still have the recycling.
Tuesdays, yeah, yeah.
what is our timeline as you understand it as far as the contract? We've already automatically renewed according to what you.
So the reason that we are bringing this to you today
Right.
is because as of May 1st is when this takes effect. This increase on our bills would go out in next month's bill, which is issued, I think, the 3rd week of May. So one way or another, a decision needs to be made on this prior to that date, which is why we basically brought it to y'all as quick as we could to go ahead and have this conversation.
So the billing will be mid-May. Is there time to address it again at the first meeting in May, potentially?
I don't feel comfortable making that judgment call for y'all.
The city may have to pay for, I'm sorry, the city may have to pay that first month until it's renegotiated, possibly.
For clarification, I got one of them too, I'll look it down. As I understand it, I'm trying to figure this out. The cost is going to be there. What Scott is saying is, if you don't approve this and put it on our bills, the city eats that extra. That's what
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
saying.
Yes,
You have a little extra in the cushion where you could eat that and not raise the bills while you're wrestling with this? Is that what your question?
I
is that
don't
what your
know that it's
dilemma is?
negotiable month by month. I think we're making the decision now whether we absorb the entire fee every month or we pass that fee
Right.
to the residents
Until you figure this whole.
whenever the negotiation.
Whenever the negotiation.
Correct.
So that would be, if you have the money, it might be a goodwill gesture to, it's only a couple of dollars, what, $5 or something like that? How much? I'm trying to read back.
$5 times every single one of our water accounts is about 10 grand.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
It's just
Well,
kind
anyway, if it-
of moving fast here, May 1st.
Yeah, but I think, but that's what you're saying is the difference. You can take you can take the extra off the ratepayers for now and make them feel better and eat it at the city, or maybe that's not a good idea because you're also trying to hire police.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's the question.
I
don't have the answer.
I
It just
definitely
seemed to be
think
last
we need
minute.
to get these city managers, or we need to renegotiate this all together. Everybody needs to be on the same playing field, because like you said, we don't have the answers because it's being negotiated at a different level.
Right.
And I definitely think we all need to be involved in that. So I
Right.
don't know if that's Tony stepping in. I don't know if that's Michelle stepping in and getting this conglomerate together to do this. But yeah, we can't rely on individuals not even a part of this to have rate increases to our residents as well with no discussion or effort.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about it tonight for the first time, and we've got to have an answer by May 1st. You know, if we need to escalate it to the mayors, if all the mayors need to talk, whatever we need to do, y'all can vote on it, but my suggestion is we get more information and not be sitting here a few days out having to make a decision on something that we don't have all the answers for.
I agree, but if we do not vote on it, the city eats it. Are you okay with having to eat $10,000?
I'm not okay with sitting here saying, okay, we're going to talk about this tonight and let's go. Y'all are the ones voting. If y'all want to vote on it, I'm just saying out loud that I'm not comfortable that we waited to the last minute and now we've got to make a decision.
I don't believe.
It makes me nervous.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
we had a lot of-
we were not really given a lot. And to be clear, if we do not make a decision tonight, we start eating $10,000 a month.
Yes.
A month or yearly?
A month.
A month.
That's a $5 rate
increase,
per.
yeah.
$5 rate
Per water
And
account.
I'm ballparking because I can't remember off the top of my head exactly how many water accounts we have. Chase? How many water accounts do we have? Or, I'm sorry, trash accounts? Because everyone in the city has a trash account, even if they're not a water or sewer customer with us.
2,000.
So,
More than 10.
10 grand-ish.
Yeah.
So they can vote to, okay, let's all pay it for a month until we get it resolved.
If I were going
If
to make
you're
a
able-
suggestion.
If you're able to do
It's
that.
more than
Yes.
that. It's more than
Depends on what the
10 grand.
contract
That-
says too.
This vote could be, or a motion or a vote could be taken today that we approve this with the addendum that we do want to examine this further.
We definitely need.
Yeah.
I think we do.
So that gives us a window
One
to
more
take further
person.
action later, but also solve the immediate problem in front of us.
One last person
Yes, ma'am.
standing behind you.
Please.
I'm Marty Fagley. I live on Fox Hunt Trail. I would rather pay the $6 and have each of us just eat that for the next 7 months while you consider how to renegotiate this contract. It is a whole lot cheaper for me to pay that amount than it is for you to be paying $10,000 a month or more in order to make me feel good. I will feel worse if I'm having taxes raised to pay that debt.
Okay, I don't think anybody
We're looking
wants
more like
that
a.
either. I
We're looking
agree.
at 144,000 for the year.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying that we should do that.
Police officers can you hire
I'm
for that?
saying
I
that
mean,
we can
that's-
pay for it.
that's the payoff.
I just know my best friend, she lives on Arroyo Court. They pay $141 every 3 months for once a week and feel fortunate to get that. I mean, that's just what they told me. They said, and I think they have to find their own.
Yep.
And that was the cheapest they could find and
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
if we do it individually, I mean, we're looking at doubling if we were to try to
But
do it
anyway,
ourselves
that's all
with the
I got.
tonnage that we bring in.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you,
it's-
Ms. Green.
Yeah.
I'm getting some remote math input from Michelle. She tells me that it would be 11,400
There you go.
Okay.
A
Well,
month.
we paid for it.
a month.
Per month.
I'm not
We would go.
suggesting.
We paid for it.
I'm not suggesting we pay for it.
Well, our only
Just to be
option if
clear.
we're
Well, that's what I'm
gonna
saying.
approve this
If we
tonight is
don't
that we
vote,
pay
then
for
that's
it.
what we do.
Well, I'm suggesting a thought process is to vote and have individuals pay it, but not long-term, is what
Maybe like.
the complaint
I
is.
I think that
we
we
could
go
go
right.
behind that, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Rose, I love your suggestion. We should, we're in a rock and a hard place.
Yes, sir.
So we've got to go do this today, but at first opportunity, we need to get together with this conglomerate of cities, utilize that purchasing power, and figure out a way to either renegotiate with Republic or find someone better.
Yes, sir. And if that's what y'all instruct us to do, I can get with Tony and Michelle and we can put our heads together and let
that.
y'all know what can be done.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So do we want to make a motion to do it now and find out more information to bring it back? Go ahead and vote.
Quick question, Fritz, on this one. So we approved the ordinance when we make the motion, but then we also, can we say we direct staff to work with
Yes.
the other cities to
Can we quiet down
start
around the
trying to
room, please?
negotiate or view options?
I think that is an acceptable and proper motion, yes.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion on that then?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance as presented, but also have staff reach out to the other 5 cities to work together to see if we can negotiate better rates or look for other options in the future.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay, thank you.
Message received.
Sorry that
We will
took a
go
while.
forth.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you. Okay, number 17, discussion action to approve a water project to loop the water line west along the southern service road of I-20 and East Bankhead Highway. Chase?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As she stated, we're looking for approval to extend a water line along the southern service road to loop our water system to help with capacities, fire flows, and kind of level out some pressures along that southern corridor of Willow Park. And it is, let me see here, flip the page. The cost estimate that I received from Jacob Martin is $647,300. And that will be paid through our impact fee. So it won't, no CO or anything like that is required for that.
Quick, may I ask
Yeah.
a question?
Yeah.
Is this going to be laid down right next to where the sewer line is going to be? Is this going right by where the sewer line is going to be, right there on Bankhead?
No, this is the other direction.
Oh, other direction.
Yeah, this is going west.
Got it.
From basically around TCA to the western corner, the western side of Bankhead.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other discussion on this item? Okay, is there a motion? Thank you, Chase. Do we have a motion on this one?
I'll make a,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, rule it
I'll
out.
make a motion to approve the water project along the I-20 corridor or Bankhead as presented.
Scott, do you want to do second?
Oh,
There
absolutely.
you go. There, look at you. Okay, all in favor? Okay, done. All right, moving on. I want to make y'all all happy. The next items on the agenda will be in executive session in accordance with the Texas Governmental Code, Chapter 551, Subchapter D. The City Council, calm down up here. The City Council will recess an executive session closed meeting to discuss the following. 18 is Section 551.071, consultation with City Attorney, City of Aledo, Texas, and City of Fort Worth, Texas versus City of Willow Park, Texas, cause number CV 26-0175, and Parker County District Court, 43rd District. Number 19, Section 551.071, consultation with City Attorney on the City of Willow Park versus Half and Associates. Number 20, Section 551.074, personnel matters, appointment, employment, evolution, right? Evolution, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of public officer or employee, police chief. Number 21, Section 551.074, personnel, municipal court judge. Number 22, Section 551.074, personnel regarding work schedules. All right, it is now 7:42. We're going to resign into executive session. Thank you.
You're right.
Are you ready for this one? You're right. We're excited.
I guess I better be. Too late for that.
Wake up, Captain. Motion, you didn't even let me second.
They can go to live stream.
Okay, we're going to reconvene into open session in accordance with the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The City Council will reconvene into regular session to consider action, if any, on the matters discussed in executive session. The time now is 9:25. I will now entertain a motion.
Yes, ma'am. I'll make a motion to remove Ray Lacy as Chief of Police due to lack of confidence in his leadership of the department, effective immediately.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Done. Okay, thank you. All right.
We have a second one?
Oh, you were going to do a second one.
No, you have the next motion.
Sean?
Oh, I've got the next
You're
one,
up.
okay. Sorry, I didn't bring my laptop back out here. Where are we at there? All right, I make a motion that we approve a 2-year contract to renew our judge, Josh Durrell. His current going rate is $1,500 per month, and we up that to $1,550, and that'll be for the next 2 years.
Okay, do we have a motion?
That is.
Second.
You're going to second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? There you go. Gotcha. All right, 23. City manager comments, reaction, response to meeting. We don't have anything on that one.
Just, if I may, just thank staff, please, that they have done an outstanding job getting everything ready for this. It was a big agenda. I want to give special thanks to Chelsea Kirkland for everything. As you saw, all the development items that were on there, and she's really had a lot to do here lately, as well as Gretchen Vasquez, as far as helping with all of the maps and their collaboration on getting all of those things done. And then for Rose and Mandy for taking all the phone calls on the trash cans, and that took a lot of effort, and yeah, so thank you
Okay.
for everybody.
And we're going to shorten our agendas going forward. Is that correct?
I sure hope so.
That would be lovely.
I'm going to
I think
say, I
we
think.
would all-
Second.
Yes, I think
All
our
in
big
favor.
ticket items are pretty well.
Can we put 2 hands
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
However, it is still
Short.
9:27. I mean, we still really have 2 hours to sit here. and-
No. I'm going home. 24, running it out. Mayor, council comments. I'm not going to make a comment. Anybody else want to make a comment?
I want to give a shout out to PD and Kevin Lockwood for the 760 Fest. You guys were absolutely amazing. Everybody was on point, making sure everybody was being safe and walking around. But the bigger thing is that the interaction that you guys have with our public when y'all are at those events and things like that. You know, I know there's this misinterpretation that y'all are there just looking for bad guys. You guys are actually interacting with our people, and they know you, and they know they can walk up to you, things like that. And then, of course, at the end, when the storm started rolling in and everything else, I know Kevin had to make that hard call, but at the same time, it's for the safety of all of our residents and everything else, and I think you all acted accordingly, so really appreciate you guys for doing that.
Agreed.
And I will say I want more ride-alongs, just saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be asking for. Thank you very much.
And if I may, I just want to thank our police officers and our police department for their excellent work that they always do. And one other thing that I would like to try to, I don't think it's an agenda item, but I'd like to see if maybe we could reach out to potentially Chief Watson with the ESD and maybe neighboring communities to see if we can do something as a city or as our community kind of comes together to help out our neighbors in Springtown and Mineral Wells from the destruction and devastation that they've all faced over the last couple of days from the storms. I'd really like for us to try to take a leadership role in this one and try to see what we can do to help our fellow Parker County residents out, because it's just horrible what happened.
I was in precinct 1 today and went and looked at a lot of that. It's terrible. Trailers were flipped over and just, I mean, people had houses demolished. Power lines are still down in some areas up there, but yeah, those people need prayers and help.
We appreciate that. Okay. Number 25, the Willow Park, once again, July 4th, we're going to have an event. We're mentioning that again, right?
Spark.
Yep, Spark. Okay, number 26, future agenda items requested. I have some items that I've received several complaints, yes, more, from residents about our poor condition on Crown Road following the sewer line installation coordinated by Hudson Oaks. I called and talked to Chase about that because he knows all those details. Thank you, Chase, for giving me your insight on that. He updated me on the work with Hudson Oaks and kind of the time frame that we're thinking we're going to have. So thanks to Chase on that. And then I called my friend, Mayor Tom Fitzpatrick. This morning, after I talked to Chase to discuss repaving Crown Road and verified with him that Hudson Oaks was going to take care of that for us. If you've driven down in front of Willow Park Baptist Church, you have experienced the damage firsthand and having to work on those water lines and then fix the road back, which is, I know it's not done yet, but I wanted to verify that they were going to take care of that and smooth that out for us. One more thing, I received a request from Marcy Galley to place an item on the next city council agenda to approve repaving some of our worst roads and to coordinate this effort through the county. And back when I complained about the roads, there was discussion about spending $1 million on the parking lot here at our city hall. And the county instead did a marvelous job on repaving 13 roads in 2 different neighborhoods last summer. And thank you, I want to reach out to thank Commissioner Mike Hale on that. And I look forward to getting some more numbers from him on helping some more of our citizens with these city streets that we're all driving on that are in badly need of some help. Now, I would like to adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I had one as well. I was
Oh,
going
I'm
to just,
sorry.
no, you're good.
I'm rushing. Go ahead.
No, I understand. Just to make sure that we have on the, to instruct city staff and the police department to continue working on measures for speeding, not just on Kingsgate, but as we look to any and all measurables that we can take into account for not just Kingsgate, but any potential roads in the future as well.
Anybody else want to talk? No?
No.
Now, do we want to have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Sure you will.
Second.
Wait a minute, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Let's go home. Thank you very much.